In this tutorial, we will see what happens to Xbar charts when they are constructed using out-of-control data. We will be using the range version of the Xbar chart rather than the standard deviation version, as the use of the range chart is far more common. All of the examples will be based on example number 1 in the Xbar tutorial. Finally, while the tutorial will be demonstrating the results, the calculations will not be shown in detail, although enough information is presented for interested users to replicate the calculations. The slide shows the raw data for this example. 4 observations have been changed from example number 1 in the Xbar tutorial. 2 are higher and 2 are lower, so the average range is affected, but the mean and the grand mean remain the same. This slide shows the summary of the raw data along with the control chart factors. At the bottom in smaller print, it also shows a summary of the original example number 1. Notice that no means have changed, and only the ranges for samples 1 and 6 have changed. Those 2 ranges went up, so the average range increased as well. Using the higher range of 0.231, the control limits for the Xbar chart expand from 0.437 and 0.576 to 0.419 and 0.591. Additionally, the control limits for the R chart expand from 0.026 and 0.356 to 0.031 and 0.431. This slide shows the resulting R chart along with the prior R chart smaller and at the bottom. Notice that point number 1 is out of control and point number 6 is almost out of control. Additionally, notice the wider control limits. This slide shows the resulting Xbar chart along with the prior Xbar chart smaller and at the bottom. None of the means changed, so the points remain the same. However, the control limits are wider. This slide shows the raw data for example number 2. 2 samples have been changed from example number 1 in the Xbar tutorial. They were changed in such a way that the ranges remained exactly the same, but the means increased. This slide shows a summary of the raw data along with the control chart factors. At the bottom in smaller print, it also shows a summary of the original example number 1. Notice that no ranges have changed, and only the means for samples 1 and 6 have changed. Those 2 means went up, so the grand mean increases as well. Since the ranges did not change from the original example, those control limits remain the same. The mean is larger, so the control limits shift up. Additionally, the larger mean results in a wider range, with the resulting control limits going from 0.437 and 0.576 to 0.454 and 0.596. The width goes up from 0.139 to 0.142. Since none of the ranges changed, the R chart remains the same and will not be explained. This slide shows the resulting Xbar chart along with the prior Xbar chart smaller and at the bottom. Not only are the control limits wider and shifted up, points 1 and 6 are now out of control. This points out very clearly that we need to make sure that we have good data without production problems before producing any control charts. It also points out that you should not construct an Xbar chart when there's problems with the R chart. Finally, it illustrates why the Xbar and R charts are always used in pairs. In both of these cases, only one of the 2 charts showed a problem.
If you found that this video helped you with your operations management problem, please consider liking the video and even subscribing to the channel.